Gentlemen, ladies, my name is Shaz, and welcome to the. Make sure this. Yeah. The. What if. Yeah. Yeah. Smash had a sister. Because I know the last. Or I know yesterday. He. I made one for his. Like. Parents. Like his mother. And. His grandpa, huh? Um, and yeah, and I basically turned him into like similar to what Whitebeard is. And so, yeah. So now, okay. So now I'm moving. We're moving on to his sister, and this is what she looks like. And before we jump right into it, a little bit of explaining, meaning of why I'm doing the Masters' family. Because the in the anime slash manga stuff, people usually like say that the Innocent Zero is heavily guarded by five a line of Mash's brothers. That tells me that in the storyline, they don't have, or MASH does not have a, like, they don't have sisters, and besides, like, because of family stuff. I'm trying to word it so that you guys try to understand what I'm trying to say. Basically, what I'm trying to say was basically the equivalent of, like, they don't mention their Mash's mother. That was from last video. The one that was before this video. And his sisters. Because normally, being like, Innocent Zero, for being like 118, 118, he would have probably had way more than 5 children's or 6 children's if he's that old. He probably was like 60 kids. But he only chose 5 kids. Or no, 6 kids to be. Or actually, I need to do some math about it. But yeah. because the man or Innocent Zero had probably some like daughters and sons that were absent in the canon, so I decided to make this storyline. So it takes place in an alternate universe where it will go like basically deep into the lore of how MASH became, the main character here. And yeah. Well, let's begin. So, let's start things off with Innocent Zero, and not sponsored. So, yeah. Innocent Zero was like looking at himself like he was young. So he tells himself that the so he basically so his wife at a time so he made a lot of kids with her. So yeah. And some of them, like the females, probably their oldest one, they're probably their first child, besides the five or the six boys, would been like the oldest one would be probably be like something. So they throw them out. And MASH was basically a similar to so that's why it takes place in an alternate universe, but so basically it's similar to canon version. So yeah, so he basically adopted MASH. But so in an alternate timeline, he did have a sister, the twin sister, that is basically her. And she ends up so she gets adopted by an almost a similar family to what MASH from canon, and but instead of being like super weird, and so she has triple lines on her face. More than three. There's about 6 lines across her face. And that's really rare to have 6 lines. 1, 2, yeah. So basically each one was like, if I could draw like what her lines would be. It would be one underneath her both of their eyes, so three for each side of her face. Yeah, and yeah, she's basically her powers are basically pretty powerful. So, because this is an alternate timeline, MASH has a no lines, or so he is similar to what I did with the what if Mash's mother was in Magic and Muscles universe, and the he doesn't need to have a marks on his face, but on his like chest, on his own heart, not. He is the most powerfulest person in the entire universe. He can cast magic in this alternate universe of the yeah. So, but he chose to live a musclehead route. He doesn't actually, yeah. He can use magic in this alternate timeline. And before you guys go storming right to the comments of this video, like saying, oh, MASH can't use magic and the stuff like that. This is an alternate timeline, not a main timeline. I know I said it's part of the canon, but this is an alternate universe. In an alternate universes, like a metaverse, different events happen during the different timelines. Like, imagine if the planet killer asteroid didn't hit Earth, but instead it flew past as the Earth instead. We would still see dinosaurs roaming around. I know that Jurassic Park is like, oh, scientists are bringing the dinosaurs back from the dead. Ed kind. But then all that stuff, but living in the world, it would be just like Ark. You never played that game? The Ark? Survival? I'm still new at it, so I'm still figuring out, like, how to build stuff, first of all. It would be like that, but with, like, dinosaurs that would still be living around. So, yeah. Would be a main timeline, or that would be the alternate timeline. So, yeah. So this what if it takes place in the alternate timeline where, compared to MASH in the main one, is completely different from, yeah. So, let's continue. So, MASH can also use magic, but he pretends to not or can't use magic. But he is the most powerfulest person in the universe. The he can he can use who's the powers owners. Yeah. So he only trains his physical body to like helps with his magical powers. So, yeah. Because in this alternate timeline, inside of Mash's soul, oh, has a marks of infinity and zero. So basically, yeah. So that makes him the more powerful than innocent zero. Even the all the wizards put together. And with his like strength, he's also balancing it with his strength. So he's yeah. So without that out of the way, let's continue. So Zuko, or no, sorry, I just had another what if that was doing the same thing when I was like not recording, but the was acting with it. So yeah. So Ash goes to Eastern Academy, but he didn't know that his biological sister was there. Like she goes to the same school as him. So yeah, he ends up or so she ends up doing the same like thing, but she's surprised is that this one of the examiners hers because she is one of those examiners, but she is surprised that this this kid is bust right through the as he says, the yeah. So a time skip because yeah to the final exam as the yeah. Sorry if my voice is a little bit weird. I just got up when before. Yeah. So now and so the final examinees was that she was on the team yellow with a music guy, he non-gender person. I forgot his name. Hold on, just give me 1 minute to find. And it was the music that was. This one. I know that because it was during the second round. Because the first round, she actually retrieved a key first before. There. And so she's not disqualified. So she's qualified. And then yeah. So so then she ends up teaming up with a music in the sing around. And so the red team lost. So now it's between it was between her versus her own brother that she didn't even know that he was her brother anyways. And plus he didn't know it that she was his sister. And so then they both start fighting and both of them. So at the end of the match, Innocent Zero comes out of nowhere. He uses his time spell, yada yada. And so she can move, and so does MASH. As Innocent Zero tells the head honcho, or head guy, or master guy, I forget his name, and he tells him that he's gonna bring both of them back home. So then, yeah. But then so then after so she defeated a lot of things, but then she looks at MASH and tells him that did you hear what he said? Yeah. As she could see resemblance of why Innocent Zero said, or actually, Innocent Zero told both of them that they are siblings. But MASH is more important than her. So then when she looks at her brother and tells her that, so then a similar thing but he used transport magic, his own version, as he lifts his fingers up into the air and wave them. Just don't care. So yeah, so he basically teleports him and his sister to where Innocent Zero and the headmaster was at. And before the so this guy he it was before he lost his wand on that the yeah. So then so after he did that and or so the one was about to be grabbed by Innocent Zero, but somehow oh the he Mash grabs the wand faster than and leaves a cream puff version or a cream puff as Innocent Zero grabs the cream puff instead, and he thought he was like, oh, I'm gonna use this wand to wait, what the hell? As even the headmaster is shocked about how this guy or as he can perform different types. As he says, as Mash had, or he created the second personality to balance himself out too. So but when he removed the number 2 personality, he or his as he uses his own magic, like he didn't use the forbidden spells, but he used basic ones, but then he used a special type. It's similar to his space cutter thing, but he used galaxy cutter as it was between him and his sister and the master versus Innocent Zero. As Innocent Zero's surprised about this. Where are we? We're in my realm. Home. As he uses his own there's always gonna be the thin line between magic, cold powers, and raw strength. As he uses and as he doesn't need it. As he infinity wave. As they never know what he's gonna pull, but when they heard infinity wave, I'll ask you something, Innocent or Zero, or actually what caused a big bang? that creates the universe. As the innocent Zero is confused, of what does he mean? As Mash uses his full power, Big Bang of the universe, boom, as he recreated, as everybody was so surprised. And yeah, even a headmaster can't even believe that the offense, defense, as the so then his father ends up being like super impressed that, like, man, you're powerful than anyone. As Innocent Zero tried to use his magic, but it starts to fail. As he's like, wait, what? What's going on? Oh, in this realm that I created, Space Cutter is only neutralized space itself. But my Galaxy Cutter is on a whole new level. Oh. It's as a powerfulest one. Galaxy Cutter allows me to basically think about it as the anti-magic area. There is a spell. As he looks at him, as he tells him, there is a spell that's like a barrier. So then yeah. But how powerful are you? Now, as he changes his clothes, what is he doing? As he's wondering, now, because how powerful I will be, as he runs right up to his own father and, like, punched him in the face and, like, brutally him. You know that if you have seen the anime of the Magic and Muscles, where Mash was as beating around that Ray guy, I forget his name, the one with the evil eye. Yeah. Well, now, as he did tell his, or as he snaps his fingers, as they, it was like we never left, actually. As as Innocent Zero's earns is a little bit surprised about that. About how his own son has enough power to destroy the world. As his honor just like as he says, I'm a little bit surprised about your powers, magical powers. Powers that's expected from my son. That's more useful than any other siblings. So then, after he leaves, or before he leaves, he summons a giant monster. As he says, I'll deal with him. As he runs so fast that even like he it's like that one scene where I don't have really good pictures, so the so like that monster, this one that was about to like kill, but he ends up stopping. I mean, it before, but then out of nowhere, but out of nowhere, Mash was so strong as he throws the creature like in cannon, but as he says, yeah, so I was gonna, in the script part of it, was gonna be him, like, turned to same size as the giant behemoth guy. Here. Into a giant. And monster. So that one. That same scene, but imagine Mash could transform his entire body into the same thing. So Mash ends up punching. Yeah, that's a part of the script. But the upside was his own thing. Yeah, so I'm staying a little bit with the the canon version of it. So, yeah. So now, without further ado, so after the whole incident thing, his sister hugs him and tells him that was amazing, big brother. As, yeah, he doesn't want to squeeze her too bad. So yeah, if you guys want me to do, yeah. So at the end of the history, the normally the lemon, I think, her, she actually didn't, or the in canon. So she ends up actually because of that game, the one that they played on canon, where she went, or her character went to jail for 36 or 365 days. Yes. And yeah, I am not going to do that to her, but instead, she actually does get married in this alternate timeline. And so Mash's brother, or no, actually Mash's sister praises her for, like, to put up with her brother thing. Like because, yeah. And Mash's sister, Herm, was the same age as Mash, so, but she was more beautiful than any girl, as everybody was like, and, or all the guys sees her as a school sweetheart thing. So, except for her brother, because that, and the, yeah. And funny enough, the guy, the one friend that, hold on, the one with Flynn, I believe, or no, that's not Flynn. Oh, this one. This one. So, I figured out why he cares about his sister. Because he cares about her so much. He might act cruel. Oh, but when he might act cruel to, like, everyone else, but his sister, it's like the brother and sister relationship, basically. I know he might be a weird person or weird character but he chooses to have, basically, he cares about everybody. Even like, yeah, he cares so much about, yeah. So he does see Mash's sister as the because she cares about her brother too. Like, she cares about MASH. MASH is similar to what the he is. But so both of them are cute couples. So they both got married and had a lot of kids too. But yeah, he did promise her that he won't like abuse her, because when he found out about 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 MASH and his sister got thrown out because of, yeah. But he says, I don't want to do that to you. So, yeah. So she becomes his wife and had a kid. And and reason why he's around, why I grabbed these two pictures of them, looks like a Joker, but he is because in part of my script, Innocent Zero brought one of his five kids and to it, and yeah. So yeah, then the stuff like that is just too weird. So then maybe tomorrow, or maybe some time later in today, I will probably make a what if, because the one that I was working on with at the same time when I was working on this storyline will probably be coming out soon. But I still need to fix some stuff up. And I'll give you a title of it. It's called What If Deku Was Born as a Nomu. He was born, but his entire existence, like his entire body, he was made out of quarks. I am saying quarks, like in superpowers. Like he basically, how energy without his suit, basically. Energy from Ben 10 without his suit. But yeah, I'm just using that as example here. Let me show you what I mean. BEN 10 energy. So this is him with his suit and then him without his suit. I'm talking about him without his suit. Energy is, is this guy wearing the suit? Well, to protect everyone from radiation. Well, so my guy ends up was born with every single quirk. Like, basically, he was born as a Nomu. And he had one extra piece that belongs to his sister. And, stuff like that. So, if you guys want me to do a good what if, or if you want me to do that, and I'll see what I can do. But now, peace out, Cub Scouts, and have a good night or day. Depends on the time zones. Peace.